somebody please explain to me how the card game thing is supposed to work? I think that's in the Dunkirk mode right here. So, can anybody explain how this works? Can we just quickly go through, like, what do you do here? Because I got no clue.
I got 49 support tokens, don't have a clue.
You just clicked on things, and it did things, and that was it?
Oh, you can grab the card and move them.
Some missions are on the calendar in the news articles. First, you select the mission, which is the tutorial. So I click on this. Okay. All right. And then read the rules. I don't want to read the rules. Oh, here. Minigame has two types of missions, key missions and supply missions. Defeating the enemy in key missions will help you successfully accomplish the operation stages and progress through the event. During the event, you can receive various rewards, including Tier 6 Destroyer Gallant. Supply missions grant special modifiers that provide different advantages in key missions. You will also receive support tokens that can be used to purchase new cards and modifiers. So there's your answer there, Scheist, for you.
I don't get it.
What's the compensation? I have no idea.
I'm screwed.
Missions have 3 difficulty levels: easy, medium, and hard. Higher difficulty level means more challenging battles, also more valuable rewards. Total power represents the strength of individual cards, both your cards and enemy cards. It is calculated as the sum in 3 parameters: survivability, damage, and evasion. Total power is also affected by buffs from other cards on your playfield and by each card's HP. Total power is the main factor that determines your chance of victory. In supply missions, you win if your card's power is equal to or greater than the enemy's. In key missions, your card's total power is displayed as a range. If the upper limit of the range is lower than the enemy's total power, your chance of victory is 35%. If the lower limit of the range is higher than the enemy's total power, your chance of victory is 100%. Well, that makes sense. If the enemy's total power lies within your ship's total power range, the chance of victory is calculated based on how much the upper limit of your card's range is higher than the enemy's total power. Your chance of victory can be between 36% and 99%. I'm confused. I need a video demonstration or something.
Yeah, no doubt.
Seriously.
I just clicked on stuff and made it do stuff, whatever.
If the chance of victory is... Okay, the enemy's total power lies within your ship's total power range. The chance of victory is calculated based on how much upper limit... Okay, so it's basically saying, here's your enemy's total power. If you're up here, you automatically win. If you're down here, okay, this is the lowest of your power. This is the highest of theirs. If you're around here, then it really depends how much you are compared to that, okay? And the higher up, the better percent chance of winning, okay? And then if the power limit is... If the upper limit of your range is lower than the enemy's total power, your chance of victory is down here. So really, it's just a question of where are you compared to the enemy. When you start playing, the game calculates for you, and then you understand. Each time you play a card, it loses 1 segment of ship HP. Each card's ship HP fully restores 20 hours after the first segment was lost. Your card's parameter values depends on the number of ship HP segments. Okay, 3 segments, 100%, 90%, or 80%. Enemy cards have specific vulnerabilities. Place a card with a corresponding debuff opposite an enemy card to counter the threat effectively. You'll receive a reward for every defeated enemy card. Your card's parameters can also be enhanced by buffs from other cards on your playfield. Okay. Modifiers provide various advantages in battle, come in 2 types, endurance and tactical. You can apply 1 of each type to a card. Okay, so we've got support tokens here. Okay, so this is a tutorial. It's supposed to teach you what to do, and I've got no idea what to do. Place a card. So you choose a card from my deck for this mission. Actual puzzles placing debuffs and buffs well, they point in specific directions. I can see that. So this one's pointing up here, so it's going to smoke screen over here. And this one is a spotlight. Place this card opposite a card with a matching vulnerability to weaken the enemy. So this is okay. So this is weak to smoke screen, right? Is that what that means? Place the card opposite a card with a matching vulnerability to weaken the enemy. I'm guessing the vulnerabilities are, oh, these are the vulnerabilities here. Okay. So, for example, I do not want to put field artillery here. Right, it's weak to smoke screens. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, and then they give the enemy a buff. I see. And you don't want to put anything that's weak to spotlight over here, although everything but field artillery. So it would make sense to take the field artillery. Can I drag it? They'll give this debug. Okay, so I click here and then I click on the card I want to play. Is that how it works, Conklin? Oh, these are my cards. Oh, okay. I thought this was my side. These are my cards. Okay, so for example, I would want to put the steamboat here because it's got the smoke screen and that will provide me with a buff. Is that correct, Hawkland? Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And then I've got a cabotage ship and a sailing yacht. Now this has evasion buff and survivability buff, and then this one, of course, weakens an enemy ship that's got the vulnerability to spotlight. So that's either the sea fog or these mines. All enemy cards have vulnerabilities. Your card becomes effective against a specific enemy as if it matches. Right, so here and here. You can use your other cards to apply buffs, increasing your total power. So this one says I'm going to get a victory. I'm going to get 8 support tokens from that. Okay. Now, my cabotage, then I can put here, and it benefits my steamboat, and it also weakens the drifting mine. Or I could put it here, in which case it benefits the ship to the left of me. So I would imagine I would be better off placing that card here. Right? Am I right in this opinion here? My steamboat doesn't really need a buff. Okay. But if I wanted to protect it, I could, right? Because that buffs that to the side. It already has a victory there, so I don't need to worry about it. So maybe I'm better off going here, because then that nerfs the sea fog, and I'll get the victory from that. Right? So I should place it here then, right? And then I would place my sailing yacht. I could place here, or I could place here. And as you can see, it says I can get a victory here or here. So what do I value more? Do I value the 100 coal, or do I value the support tokens? I would assume I'd want the support tokens because that gives me the ability to buy more stuff. So you decide which reward is more important. Right, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to hit start. Ta-da! Now I lost because I didn't defend over here. Okay. Tokens are most, yeah, exactly. Right, that's what I thought. Okay, so now I've got a key mission here. So if I click on that, what does it do? Okay, you have enough support tokens to draw a new card over here. Okay, so let me click on that. I can obtain a new card with my support tokens. I've got 65 of them, so I can get 2 cards. Choose only 1 card from 3 that will be provided. You cannot receive duplicates. Unlocked cards will return to the selection pool and may appear again. Jimbo says, very important, always grab cards with high hit points. Okay, so we're going to draw a card, and then we choose one of these. Now, the hit points is their survivability, right? That's their power. So, for example, in this case, I'd want to get the trawler over the paddle tugboat or the harbor tug. The trawler is far more valuable, correct? Why is that not a good example, Jimbo? I'm like honestly curious because, you know, in theory, this might go out to YouTube. Okay, we'll see later. Okay, well, I'll go with this card then. So yes, trawler is mine. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and draw another card. And in this case, I've got 59 survivability and 61. So I'd probably want the Canterbury, right? Now see the 122. Yes, the 122 total power. Yeah. Okay. So definitely get the Canterbury then. And that's kind of cool because she's in the Operation RI. Okay. All right. So now we exit out of this and go back to port somehow. Gotta love navigating in this game sometimes, guys. Okay, where is it up here in featured? You would think it would be easy to navigate. To this one? No. On the left in port. Oh, here. Okay. So we finished that. Now we go to key mission here. And now we fight again. You've been choosing cards which fill gaps in your fleet capability. So HP criteria is an interesting comparison. Cool. Okay. So in this case, now I've got 5 cards. So now I can fight all of these. There's modifiers as well. Interesting. Okay. So in this case, can you move cards once you place them, by the way? Because, like, to me, this makes too much sense, right? You've got the anti-air. Hey, Dodolito. You can. Okay. So I'm going to drop this down right now because I get a buff here and I get a buff over here. Total power range. Okay, so now I see the range. Total power cards used in key missions is displayed as a range, unlike in supply missions. Okay, this is a key mission. So a single number. When you place your card on the playfield, you'll see the chance of victory displayed, okay? You move cards over each one to see buffs and stuff. Build your puzzle and only start when you're satisfied. Okay. You check the modifier supply and drag them to squares next to cards, repairs, for example. Got it. Okay. So I've got another drifting mine, so anti-air and spotlight. And then over here, I've got spotlight and spotlight. And this is engine. Okay. So for example, if I were to put a steamboat here, this is 100% victory. Restore HP. Your card's parameters have decreased because a segment of HP was lost. Mount a modifier, the appropriate effect to... Okay. Do I have to use modifiers? Do I want to use modifiers? Or do I want to leave them for later when I know I 100% need them? So next up, I would probably go ahead and put... that's only a 35%. This is a 100% chance of win. So I'd probably want to put the cabotage ship here. If it gives you a victory, then use them. But see, what I'm curious about is it already says that I have 100%. So is there a reason I would want to use a modifier now versus waiting until the next time I want to go use them? Use them to increase chances or use them to take your ship to the next fight? No reason to use it. Okay, so I can wait until next time, lose the HP, if you already have victory. That's what I was trying to get at. Okay. So now I've got to figure out how to deal with this drifting mine. I've got a trawler I can put. That's an 80% chance of win. Or I could put the sailing yacht. That's a 35% chance. So I'd probably want to go ahead and put a 35% chance of win here. You collect modifiers. Okay. And these are all modifiers that you collect. So I just have 5 repairs right now. In this case, I couldn't put a light repairs modifier here because that's not going to help me, right? Can I take modifiers down after I've placed them, by the way? So these are all 100% win, except for this, it's 80%. So you say I just go. Roll it, get started, see what happens, yes? Try moving cards around to explore better combinations. Okay. So, if I were to move this to here, for example, that goes to 35. This goes to 100% with the Canterbury. Okay. Now, if I did that, now it's 100% all around. That's even better. That's a GG, right? So, start. Go. Okay, I like the idea that you take your time and place the cards accordingly. So, Dynamo begins. I've completed the tutorial. My ship HP is fully restored, so I'm glad I didn't waste any of that stuff. Exactly, Coquelin. Okay, so you're looking for all that. So we have supply missions that we start with, and then we've got our key missions. Okay, So I guess I would want to start with the supply mission first, right? To build up my cards. Is there a specific mission, supply mission I want to start with? Does it matter where I go on the map, or do I just pick a mission? And I guess this is something you'd want to do every day. What is this? You have enough support tokens to draw a new card. Okay, let's draw a new card then. Start with the ones you have cards for. How do you know if you've got cards for it or not? Is that where you click on it? You can pick one and even go back and pick another one. Okay. So let's go to cards. Why does it say card collection? Ah, okay, this is cool. And then I got my modifiers. Okay.
I'm gonna take my dogs out since you're gonna be a while.
Yeah, go for it. Sometimes you won't have the cards for 100 per victory, so you just choose a different one. Okay. After a few hands, the ships will become tired and need maintenance for 20 hours. So this is a side game that takes about 15 minutes per day, provides some rewards. Got it. Okay. So like if I click on this one, I can go back. Is that what you're saying about that, Coughlin? I can go back, or I can just play this one out, right? So like if I were to play this one out, then good explanation. Okay, cool. Because that one's weak to smoke, but I kind of like the idea of Canterbury going here. Well, these are all victories anyways. It doesn't really matter too much what I use, because they're all going to be victories, because it's a support mission. So I might as well just hit start and roll that, right? Some of them did get injured. Okay. So I'll collect rewards. Interestingly enough, if I go for the coal, then I'm essentially damaging one of my ships, or one of my cards. So I could also choose not to go for that coal and just get the supplies, right? It's a fun minigame, huh? That's what. So I can get one card for free. Which one do I want? Cargo ship? Definitely the cargo ship. Okay. And draw the cargo ship. I got enough for another card. Let's draw another card. Icarus. Definitely the Icarus. Is there a reward or something for getting all of the cards for like having each one? Because you can't have duplicates, right? Yeah, so I go Icarus. Okay. And then card collection. Flag or a patch. Okay, gotcha. And then so like I got Icarus there. So go to this is the battle screen. I always get confused with that. So we'll do another supply mission here. And then free XP this time. Okay. Fewer support tokens. Interesting. So I can go here. Ships reset the next day. Yeah, it says 20 hours. So that makes sense. I can do smoke there. And then I can do anti-air there with the Icarus. And then I can do that here. And they all support each other, although this cabotage ship is going to be quite low. If they go to 0, do I lose the ship, or do I just have to wait until the time's up and then it's automatically refilled? Okay, so I don't lose the card or the ship or whatever. I just can't use that ship again. Okay. Let's go with that one. Savorinon de Braza. That one looks like fun. So another one in the card collection. Okay. Cool. Mind you, this Admiralty system in Star Trek. So we got these done. Let's go ahead and do this one, I guess. Okay. So now we've got fighter, motorboats, sea fog, and bomber. So something that's weak to anti-air would be good, like there. And that's good. That's perfect for both sides. Now this will retire the Canterbury. She will be done after this, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I just looked at the power number on them and just matched them up and just beat them up.
Yeah, I'm probably overthinking this, frankly, but that's okay.
I feel like it. Look at the DM I sent you. I cleared the whole board except for one in like 5 minutes.
Damn. Okay.
Well, that power number, you just look at them. And it's like, okay, this is bigger than that. Da, 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 da. If it's like 70 or 80% chance or better, you just freaking throw it up there and go for it and get what you get.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So if I go like
That's
to
what
that
I did,
one. Well, no, it's good to know. I mean, you know, and that one weakens that one.
Use your smallest ones first that will actually get you something. Because you're going to want the higher power ones when you get to that some of the other stuff.
Some of the later things. Okay.
So like that 162, if you can beat that one with 100, you need to beat it with 100.
The 162. This one
The
here.
Icarus is 162 power.
Yeah, right. So like
Your
sailing
Icarus
yacht.
card. So pull it out of there. Pull it out of there and sit it down. That's
Okay.
a bomber for 74. So take a card that's got a number big enough to beat that 74.
Yeah.
And then so each time you get 4 cards and there's 4 powers on them. So take your weakest card that'll cover up the smallest number and just work your way up.
So like that's another thing I could do there and then done.
And
so
then just hit start.
So worry less about the debuffs and stuff and instead just go with whatever.
That's what I did. I just ripped through them and beat them all up and got a bunch of freaking So you get all your stuff. You get all those up in your top right corner. Now you've got more. You got 48 of those things, so you can buy more cards.
Right.
And what's going to happen is it's going to tell you can collect your reward in the bottom left corner after you do a couple of them, and then you can pick cards. And I just picked the one with the biggest number on them. I didn't care about the debuffs.
Right. That makes sense. And you're going to get.
Says debuffs are important, and I don't understand it that much. I'm just telling you what I did.
I think in the like these key battles, it makes more sense to worry about them. You match them up for 100% victory, and then you quit when you can't get it, and then you just come back later. Okay. So like if I go here, then next, debuffs are important when the numbers are close. Right. So like for example, my sailing yacht is 79. I can't do anything with that. 106 though, I can't do anything. I could do like that, for example. And that knocks that down to 93, which allows my trawler to come in. Aha, and that knocks this down to 77. If I put that guy in there, now that's a victory, but this is a defeat because of the effect on the trawler. Okay. So that's where you need the debuff. That's where the debuff comes in play. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I've got 108 and 110. So I've got 79, and then I've got 88. And I went from defeat to victory and victory because I've got a match here and a higher number here. Don't worry about the fights that don't give you support tokens. Well, I might as well get all the stuff and things, Vaco, right? Because I've got time to do this. This is 25 days, and if you're just going through the mission, does it reset every day? Like the missions reset every day? Or is it like here, if I go start here, for example, does the map restart like tomorrow? Okay, it does. So then tomorrow, then I would go and do this. And in theory, the game gets easier because I've got more cards, right? You haven't had maps to play in 2 days. Okay. Well, if it's 20 hours, so that could be why. Ooh, Bliska. Give me Bliska.
196 power.
Yeah. Higher phases are harder. Okay. Got it. There she is there. All right. Back to the attack mode. So I've gone through all of my supplies. So now I'm going to go do a key mission. And in this key mission now, all of these I can't use because I've used them already. But here I can choose from these 5 boats here. So for example, if I wanted Bliska, now I don't depth charges. Oh, okay. Right now I'm just looking at what the buffs and debuffs are, and I'm just thinking about how can I do this in a way that works. So that goes to 50%. That stays to 50% as well if I use the Bliska there. Whoa, everything just moved. Higher phases are harder, and you can repair now. Right, I see that. So I'd absolutely want to use a repair for it. Now, what's interesting is that's 100%. If I drop that, that goes to 35%. That's because this number is below the range. Okay. And then I could put like that in there, and that's going to get me the win. And I can put that in there. That's going to get me the win. Icarus. That gets me the win. Okay. Scheist. And then 115. So then that's a 35%, and the trawler is 35%. This is why it's important not to waste the cards that don't give support tokens because you run out of cards. Right, and because the map refreshes, then you want to hold off on doing that, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a strategy involved.
Plenty of strategy involved from the looks of it and sounds of it. So if I go up here, that's a 35%. If I go up here, that's a 35%. So in this case, I might only want to play these cards. Place paddle boat and heal it and shuffle until wins. What? Place paddle boat and heal it. But that's only a 35% chance. Right? Wouldn't I check buffs? You mean the modifiers?
Little boxes to the right.
Yeah. You can buy buffs. Oh, down here you can buy them. I see, it says buy. Okay. So for example, for a buff, what would I want here? Chance of victory increases to 100% in exchange for all of the ship's HP. Okay. So I can just literally put a crap card up there and get, in which case I want to take the light repairs down. Okay. So like some of these would be good. Like if I know this is a win and that's 105 points, then I could use like this one to get 15% more evacuation points. A lot that isn't instinctive. They hide a lot of features until you... That's why I wanted to talk this over with you guys. Debuff can be applied even if the enemy doesn't have the matching vulnerability. So if I put that up here, for example, I have to buy it. Okay. Debuff can be applied even when the enemy doesn't have matching. So that would apply a debuff on the artillery, which would probably get me to a 1. Switch the Icarus and the paddle boat, okay? Whoa. Okay, how did you know that, Jackal? Because that number's higher and that number's higher. See, I'm overthinking it, right? And then that number's higher. Okay. Now, I probably want to use my light repairs, right? To keep things going, to be able to do more of the maps, right? So ideally, I would go through and heal up each of the ships. Yes? Or am I missing something here? Jackal is applauding, so that means yes. Okay, why not? Cool. Let's start. Now, when you buy stuff, I'm guessing you buy the buffs and debuffs with support tokens, right?
Yeah, it's over on the left.
Yeah.
Go to the one above it.
Card collection here, and then I buy the modifiers here. But I can also buy the modifiers during the game, right? During the battle.
Yeah.
Okay. You started by drawing.
That one's. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, please.
No, I was saying a couple of those are really expensive.
Is that why the dots are there?
Like you mouse over that one and go to the buy button, it's like 12.
Okay.
And then some of them are like 4.
So if I go to the buy button here, it's going to ask me purchase. Okay, so that's like 16.
If you click on it, it tells you how many it is.
And that one's 4. Okay, so the dots don't really matter as much. But it does. Okay, so 4 is pretty cheap for a 20% victory. Maybe the dots are the number you can get. Like you can get 2 or 3 of them this phase and that's it. So I could use my support tokens today and help me in these upcoming battles, or I can hold the support tokens to buy more cards next time, right? Tomorrow. Is that correct? Okay, and then I got a free card. Play all of them today. Okay, cool. So let's grab the javelin. Okay. So we go do that. All right. And now we're going to do a key mission. Ships refresh in the morning, right? Clearing key missions progresses the bar, and you get a bunch of free ships. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I saw that one, Jackal. Okay, thank you. So next up, we've got Sea Fog, Drifting Mine, Bomber, Sea Fog. So if I'm looking at the ranges here, for example, the trawler might be nice to get rid of, but obviously, you know, we have to find a way to debuff things to make it work, right? So like that, now that changes it to an 80% chance of win. So I might not want to use the trawler in this case, right? I might be better off holding off on using the trawler for something else. and or buff the trawler. So you mean I can go into here and do a tactical modifier? Yeah, actually I could buy one of these. Right, the Icarus buffs what's to the left. Yeah, so if I swap that and swap that, that's a 75% chance of win, which isn't as good, obviously. So I think I would do like that, and then I could buy the that modifier, for example, right? So sea fog, I can just pop this in here because it's a 100% win, and then I'm good, and I don't need to worry about that. And I think over here for the modifiers, I would just spend the 4, buy the modifier, and I would put that modifier over here. Now I've got a 100% chance, and I only have 2 light repairs remaining. So I could light repair the trawler, right? No, I can't. It's only 1 modifier per card. Why are there 2 boxes then? Okay. So if I do this, I'm going to lose the trawler, which is fine. Repair the tugboat. Right, I'm just curious why there's 2 different slots for it then. Actually, I'd probably want to repair these 2 because they're higher power, right? Why did that just go to light repairs? Wait. Light repairs goes to 100%? Oh, because the combat power increases. I see it. I see it. So if I put that one over there, trawler will merely need a rest. Right, exactly. But it's better off that I repair my higher, right, my higher power boats so that I have them for another. It's a different buff. Okay. All right, so I'll roll it here then. Yeah, and then we'll go to the next one. All right, that one's timed out. Collect rewards. I get another card. Okay, so probably want to go for the Foudroyant. Oh, here we go. Cards. Okay, so we'll do the next key mission here. And now, once again, same deal. We're trying to... It almost gets easier when you grab the other cards because then you can kind of cycle through things a little bit better, huh? Once HP drops to 0, card is gone until it resets at the end of the 20-hour period. That one we know for sure. So, like, if I use the tugboat right now, then it's gone. I can use the tugboat. I can buy another one of the bonuses to ensure I get a win here. Or, well, that buffed that, but that didn't help enough. Or I can hold off on the paddle boat and I can put this in instead, just to ensure that I get the win. Right, exactly. It gives you more flexibility. So, like, I think I might do this, right? Because then I have these cards for another battle, and these are 100%. I know I'm good. We're gonna make it happen. Dunzo. So let's do that. Okay. Collect rewards. Get another card. So early on, a lot of this is relatively simple. And in this case now, wouldn't I want to get a passenger ship because it's got a better survivability than the Aronia here, even though it's got a higher total power? Or do I only care about total power? I guess it doesn't really matter. I can just get... And this one buffs something next to it anyway, so... Let's just get the Aronia. When you can tell total power and what it buffs debuffs is what matters. Thank you, Chaser. Okay, so I made the right choice there by grabbing the Aronia. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next key mission. And, so we've got in this case, I got one after this. So I probably want to make sure that I've got as much available for the future as possible, right? So I'm going to use all my 2Zs here. And in this case, it's a 100% win across the board. So I don't need to worry about anything else. Should I buy a modifier that gives me extra evacuation points, guys, or not worry about that? No. Okay. So don't worry about that. I don't need to worry about that. I can just go and do the thing. Okay. So I just do this and be done with it. There's no reason to worry about buffs and debuffs, right? Like, that doesn't matter, right, Shice?
Oh, I didn't pay any attention to it when I did it. I just went by that power number and beat them all. I already cleared the board.
Right. And I'm going to clear it next because that's... Okay. So at this point, I've cleared the board, and now I've got 2-star difficulty. Save points for cards till you have all cards.
Collect rewards.
Collect rewards?
Get your rewards. Left side.
Yep. So then I've got some 2-star difficulties. So now I'm in phase 2. I thought you guys said the map refreshes at the end of the day, but it looks to me like it refreshes when you clear the map instead.
No, it's stages. So, like, I didn't make it to stage 2 because you won more battles than I did. So you actually made it to stage 2. If you look at your progress bar at the bottom, there's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. You've actually progressed into stage 2, where I still have to get another battle or 2 to get me over that mark. So you're a little bit ahead of me because you did better because you had coaching.
Okay.
And you were patient. And I was not these things.
You were not these things. Got it. Okay. So if I go to... Let's see. I don't have a lot of cards left that can do a lot of things. So I might want to go to a 2-star mission. These are more difficult. But I might be able to get better rewards from that, right?
Like the one guy said, you want the... See the 2 on the right that have the 10s?
Yeah.
Somebody said focus on those so you can get all those freaking points so you can get better cards or something.
Right, right. And then you can ignore things like free XP, for example. If all you care about is progression, if you want to try to get everything, well, then there's that too. You made it to stage 3 somehow. Well, there you go. So, free XP is bait. Well, I mean, you can do this the whole way without getting, like, in this case, the free XP, right? Or do you really need to be that careful that you can't afford to pick up everything in the game? Oh, wow. That really hurts it. That card only has 1 HP bar left, but it has a ton of attack. Right. Right. But what I'm asking is, like, can I afford to pick up the free XP and just clear the map later? There's enough time when it matters. See, that's what I was asking, Jackal. So I'm doing it early enough where as long as I'm doing this every day, I'm able to get this done. Yeah? So, in this case, I'd probably want to use one of my double here, like that dude. But that's not enough power. So maybe put the Blisk over here. Victory over there. Wow. Okay, because this is a 2-star difficulty, you can see the difference here. This would be probably easier for me if I had saved up other cards, right? So instead of doing this, maybe I'm better off doing a 1-star difficulty and just finishing up the board for today, and then I start over again tomorrow, right? So for example, I go like that for a victory. Yeah, okay. And then I go with the Aronia for someplace, I don't know if it matters where. And then here, 118. I like the idea of using like the lowest power ship for the task. That's something that would have been helpful to know at the start, because hopefully I'm going to put this out to YouTube, and there you go with that information. And then here, I'm going to use this guy because it's lowest. And then next battle, I'm going to have 4 left to get me the supplies. Victory, 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 victory. And then I'm going to get another card anyway, aren't I? Yeah. So now I can go and I can get another card. Okay, so I'm going to get another card. Gallant, hello. So let's get the Gallant. Done. Okay. I hate when it keeps going with new stuff anyway. But, and Wolfie, take care, by the way. I saw you say something. Sorry I didn't call it out, but thank you for tuning in. So then in this case, I've only got the 5, so I've got the Gallant here. So this is an example now that we are low on cards. This is an example where I wouldn't want to go for either the free XP or the credits, and I would only want to focus on what's going to get me the support tokens, right? Because that's going to help me get through things better. So like Gallant, for example, I'll just put on here, and then you know, I would probably want to put my weakest up here, so that would be the 92, and I'll just take those two with the idea that then I am at full strength in the next supply battle, right? So let's start that, and I get my support tokens, and I'm at 26, so now I can go back here and I can buy another card again. Aha, Wakeful, there we go. Was that tier 3 British destroyer? You finish a 32-ounce of glass of dirty water mix. Wow. While you're watching me do this card game. Well, thank you, Shice. That's great to hear. So these are high enough numbers. I could probably go back and do a twosy here, a double, right? Maybe? This one requires a little bit more thinking to kind of decide what's better for what. But right now, these are all defeats. I'll just throw the Bliska down anyways. And this one is bad. See, now that helps to ensure a victory. Okay. This one's anti-air. That ensures a victory there. Scheist. Oh my god. Patience, young Padawan. Now, if I go here, then that turns into a defeat, and that turns into a defeat. That turns into a victory. Thank you for the cheer, though, Scheist. Wondering if it's worth it to spend a day just doing supply missions to get as many cards as you can before going into key missions. Yeah, Chaser, I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now, is just doing the supply missions, just focusing on those. As a matter of fact, one of the things I could do is I could do that and say, forget this. And if I say forget that, what am I got here? 156? So that's a defeat. That one's 150. Ah, but that becomes a victory. That one's 158 now. And that's also 158. So this is where the problem comes into play, trying to figure out how do you set everything up to be able to win. You don't want to just waste the card, I would imagine, right? Right? You don't want to just waste the card. Playing a couple deck building games to do that. Rush to build your deck before you're going aggro. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. Right. So I guess the question is, what do I want to kill with my Wakeful here, right? So for example, if I go here, I don't have anything that will help me against this, but I do want this, right? I do want that. So that's a defeat. Anti-air. That's a victory. I want that. I know I want that. When I come over here, that's going to be a defeat here because it's 158. But if I put that up there, then that's going to be a victory. So then the question is, do I have something here that's going to make that a... Look at that. All of them are victories. And I have to put this here anyways to ensure this is going to be a win. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm sure I'm not doing this perfectly, but it's okay because we are learning this together, y'all. And then we'll go to a 1-star. And as you can see, I only have 3 ships to choose from at this point. So I'm only going to pick what I need. And that's going to be the 3 support tokens. And that's it, right? So I can just do this and get my support tokens. I'll get another card. Okay. So I can go here and I can buy another card now. And, let's get the Sirocco, sure. Okay. So there we go. I'm sick of this, but okay, whatever, game. I don't know about you guys. I have to click on things, you know? Okay, so now I'm going to go to the next supply mission here. And I've got 13 and I've got 10. So definitely a good thing I just got the Sirocco. And that's going to be a defeat. But these are the only 2 ships that I can use right now. Alternately, what happens if I do that? That's both a defeat. So the only thing I can do is use the Sirocco for this victory. Right? And that's it. And nothing else is going to matter. So there's no point in using the Wakeful in this place. Go to 1 star. Right, and I'll get another card because of this. What do you mean by go to a 1 star? That to it. I think this is how you do it, right? Mission? Go to a 1 star mission. Is this not a 1 star? Oh, you mean one of these over here. You mean one of these over here. So you're talking about one of the key missions. Go to a 1 star of the key missions here to get some evacuation points. Ah, okay. I can do that. I can do that. So in that case, I would be utilizing, like, for example, this, right? And I can go to modifiers. What is this? Increased by 40% in exchange for all debuffs and buffs. Okay. And here, I care about the evacuation points, just the number. So I would do this to get as many evacuation points as possible. So here we go. I've got my evacuation points done. I wonder what happens with a 2 star. I get more evacuation points, but I can also do that. 35, 35, 35% win. Is there a modifier that I can do that impacts this battle? There is not. Okay. Now, each of these have different... Aha! Here we go. Depth charges. 100% win and 100% win. Look at that. Or that. Or that. Or that, or that. That's how you play this. Yeah, Doctor, exactly. That's what we're trying to figure out right now. Not the easiest to understand. But I think I'm just going to do this, right? That ensures that I get the wins. Wakeful will be retired after this. I could buy another light repair to allow me to play the Wakeful for longer. That's 8. That's expensive. But I'm going to go ahead and buy it. And then I can put that there. Cards parameters are increased by 40% in exchange for all buffs and debuffs. I don't need that. I could have used that on the Wakeful, actually, probably, and guaranteed the win. Now, what happens if I put the Wakeful here? If I really want those points. Aha. And then now that's 100%. So there we go. Now I get the most evacuation points out of this, right? And then I can also use the heal so that I get the Wakeful again for the next battle. Okay, so we'll hit start. And now I just got a whole bunch of evacuation points. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now I'm at 15 tokens. Now let's see the 2 star. And we are running low on what we can do with our ships. That's a victory. And there's no point in getting any of these. So in this case, I would just play the Sirocco, get the points. That's 20 off 28, so I can buy another card. Okay, or no. Yeah, 28. So I can go here, I can get one more card again. Might as well get the passenger ship, I guess. It's the highest number. Okay. Yeah, it's sort of addictive when you're on a roll, right? I get it. I get it. So then now I've got 3 ships I can use. 1082, so that's 100%, for example. That's 100%, and that's 100%. So I can do something like that. The debuff locations on passenger steamer looked the best too. Yeah, it did, didn't it? That was a 1 star. I could also go to the 2 star and see. These are not enough strength, really. Maybe they are if I use the you know, modifiers and stuff like that. Sailboat's good for fog, okay. But I know Shice has been waiting very patiently to, play the damn game. So let's just go and get this done. So that's evacuation points, that's evacuation points, that's evacuation. That's 100%. Guys, giveaways in progress right now. You have to be a follower, twitch.tv/Lord_Zath. And say something in chat, and that's all you gotta do. Collect rewards. Cool, we got a repair. And the passenger ship is gonna YOLO something. 90% chance of victory. I'll take that for the 110. There we go. And then 1 star over here. And 100% win for 120. Done. And then I'm all done for the next 20 hours. We've almost cleared this entire second map. That's really cool.